There's a report that Josh McDaniels tried to trade for Derek Carr before the start of this past season. Before the New England Patriots committed to Mac Jones, according to Ian Rappaport, the New England Patriots were really interested in trading for Derek Carr. Now, he went on the NFL Game Day show and he said the following, and I quote, "For McDaniels, he now inherits a quarterback in Derek Carr that he has always liked. In fact, the Patriots considered trying to trade for Carr before the season." Now, here's the crazy thing. Derek Carr has had a lot of hate this past season, right? More so than I've ever seen. You know, in 2019, 2020, I started talking about how the Raiders could potentially move on from Derek Carr, how they should maybe look into rebuilding, maybe starting fresh. Oftentimes, teams kind of do it. But the Raiders decided not to do that, right? Specifically, John Gruden. He decided Derek Carr was his guy. Now, obviously, John Gruden resigned, and now we have a new coaching staff. And this coaching staff now has that same decision. Do we move forward with Derek Carr or do we start that rebuild? But the fact that Josh McDaniels tried to trade for Derek Carr just last year kind of shows you what this new coaching staff thinks of Derek Carr. At the same time, picking with the 22nd overall pick, you don't have enough value or assets to really move up and get a rookie quarterback. That too, do you guys think Josh McDaniels wants to try that rookie quarterback thing again? Right, he just went through it this past season with Mac Jones, where he got a rookie quarterback. He kind of had to build things and kind of teach that quarterback what to do. As opposed to a Tom Brady, he never really had to do that. Tom Brady was already a pro by the time Josh McDaniels got there. Josh McDaniels really just had to carry the offense that was already in place, just kind of continue it going. And of course, he did a great job, right? Big shout out to Josh McDaniels for that. But the fact that the Patriots tried to trade for Derek Carr shows you a lot of what McDaniels thinks of Derek. Now, I think, in my opinion, I really believe that Derek Carr is going to have his best career season this upcoming year. Not only because of the fact that this is the first time he'll have some consistency going forward, but the fact that this is a really good offensive mind. This is an offensive mind that's going to come in. He's going to say, "Hey, Derek, these are the flaws that you have. This is what I see on tape. This is what I need you to fix." In fact, there was a viral video just a couple weeks ago that was posted of a linebacker talking about Josh McDaniels and kind of how he cheated, started 6-0, and then he fell off. Most people only watch that clip, but if you watch the entire video, the linebacker actually talked a little bit about some of the things that Josh McDaniels actually did that taught him things. An example was the fact that when Tom Brady is under center, if he puts his feet a certain way, it's going to be X play. If he does it a different way, it's going to be Y play. That's something Josh McDaniels had taught that linebacker, and that linebacker knew that this is something Josh McDaniels had told me a long time ago. Point is those are the small things in a player's game that Josh McDaniels can recognize quickly. And I don't know if John Gruden ever really had that. I don't know if John Gruden ever got Derek Carr to be a better player than he already was, right? Truth be told, Derek Carr in 2016 was a great football player. And I don't know if John Gruden ever made him better, right? I would argue that in the first 2 years of John Gruden's career, Derek Carr was worse than he was in 2016. And only this past year, he was similar to that 2016 Derek Carr. But I believe Josh McDaniels, a former quarterback's coach, could get the best out of Derek Carr. And that too, this personnel that the Raiders have, the system that the Raiders have in place, the 2 tight ends, 2 good running backs, including one that's in between the guy, one that's a third down type of guy, as well as the tight ends, the receivers, right, the slot guys, right, the Wes Welker, Julian Edelman type of guys. I think this system fits Josh McDaniels. I think this is a type of system that McDaniels would want in terms of personnel. And for me personally, I think that's going to really show shows why Josh McDaniels chose this team, right? There was another report by Jordan Schultz. He kind of talked about the personnel. He said that, and I quote, "I'm told Josh McDaniels laid out an extensive, aggressive offensive system that he believes Derek Carr can execute. Focus on continued use of play action and much more 2 tight end sets with both Darren Waller and Foster Moreau. Would be surprised if McDaniels isn't the Raiders head coach." Jordan Schultz kind of talks about what he was told about what Josh McDaniels kind of wanted to do. And it's very clear that McDaniels chose the Raiders not only for Derek Carr, not only for Foster Moreau and Darren Waller, right, with those 2 tight ends, not only with Josh Jacobs, but the personnel that we have, right? That too, like, if you guys look at the Super Bowl teams right now, 3 of the 4 teams were offensive teams, and then 1 was a defensive team, which was the San Francisco 49ers. The 2 teams that moved on, look at the set of weapons that those 2 wide receivers, those 2 teams have, right? Compare that to the offensive line, right? For the longest time, the Raiders built with a powerful offensive line. Great center, great left tackle, great guards, powerful guards. And how much win or production did that get the Raiders? You look at the Cleveland Browns. How many wins do they get? As opposed to maybe building with some good wide receivers and a young average offensive line and a good defense. And I think that's the best way forward for the Raiders. And I feel like that's what Josh McDaniels wants to do. And that's kind of what he plans to do. I really believe whoever we choose as our defensive coach, and we may find out today, Josh McDaniels is doing his presser at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So that's a couple hours from now. We may find out what he plans to do, the type of direction he's going to head towards. So we're going to get a lot, in the next couple of hours. But if Josh McDaniels can get a good defensive coach, Gus Bradley proved last year that this team, the players on the defense, could be pretty good. We're one of the top defenses in the last 5 weeks of last season. That's what Gus Bradley was able to do, and Gus Bradley plays very conservative. Imagine a more aggressive defensive coach, a guy that gets after it, a guy that's going to play some press man-to-man coverage. I think the Raiders have so much potential this year. I really believe that this is going to be the year that they're able to turn it around. Not only because Josh McDaniels believes in this coach, Josh McDaniels believes in this quarterback, but the quarterback believes in the coach, right? It's very clear that Derek Carr wants to win, right? That's all we've been hearing. His brother went on to the Colin Cowherd show and said that this organization needs to invest in Derek Carr. Those are the types of things that we need to do for DC, and it looks like this might be the year that we're actually doing it. Josh McDaniels has had success. He's wanted Derek Carr in the past. I think this is a great fit. I'm excited to find out what this front office group can do, especially in the draft, man. The draft couldn't come sooner. We're about 2 months away, so I'm excited, man. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think. Is this going to work out? Are we going to look back in 5 years and say this was great, or are we going to look back in 5 years and say this is terrible? It's just like the John Gruden, the Del Rio, and all the coaches before that since the Raiders have had their last success. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you guys next time with another video.